Okay, so good evening, everyone. Like I was mentioning, we're going to be talking about databases and PSQL on day two, week two. So a quick overview. A relational database is a database that organizes its information into tables. Kind of think of it like a Excel sheet where it has columns and rows. You can then define those relationships between different tables. And on the other hand, you also have non-relational databases. You don't really need to know that for today. But the difference is, like I was saying, relational databases have is more structured and has rows and columns, as non-relational databases may hold things like JSON or key value pairs and is not as structured and doesn't utilize columns and rows. Uh, Kind of think about the e-commerce website, Amazon.com. Think about how they keep all that information and data organized so that you're able to see your order history. This is in terms of relationships between different tables. Say you have two tables, one titled customer and then another table titled orders. Uh, they you have to relate the two so that you can keep track of what you ordered. That's kind of how Amazon keeps track of it. So, for example, if you have a table within your database that has uh, so for the customers, say it has three columns: ID, name, and email. And then you have your orders table, on the other hand, that has ID, order date, and then customer ID. Uh, so the customers doesn't really show you what orders you make, but and the vice versa, the orders is linked to that specific customer. So again, think of it as like customers that has three columns: ID, name, and email, and then another table that has that is named orders that has ID, order date, and customer ID. That's kind of how uh you that's kind of how you can think about the relationship between the two. So and then uh continuing on, we do not need to write software ourselves. This has already been done. We will use a database server or RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. This is software designed to create, manage, control access to, and host relational databases that can handle thousands of queries per second. Um, Strategy, since we're learning how to operate in multiple environments, you need to know whether you're in Bash or PSQL. Bash is what we've been operating in. I don't know if so last week on day two of what, which was Wednesday, we got into changing directories, making directories, creating files. Those were all ran through Bash. Now we can uh, connect to PSQL so that we can access different databases and create databases, create tables, and communicate with PostgreSQL through that way. So each has its own commands and purposes. Bash controls the system, like I was saying, files, directories. PSQL is for interacting with PostgreSQL. You'll also learn to run these database commands with Python in the second lesson. This is important for automation and integrating databases into applications, making data management faster and more efficient. Our learning objectives for today is understanding the concept of databases, know the difference between Bash and PSQL, terminal environments and commands, be able to run PSQL Bash commands, be able to run queries through a PSQL terminal, be able to programmatically run commands and queries through Python. Are there any questions before we get into the first lesson? There's nothing. I will go ahead and uh, continue on. So for our first lesson, we're going to get into SQL databases. Key objectives, know the difference between Bash and PSQL. Can anybody recite what I just what I just said, what the difference is? So Bash is more so communicating with your system, creating files, directories. Think of it as what we were doing last Wednesday. So uh, making a new directory, deleting a directory, creating a new file, changing directories, pretty much just navigating through your computer and your system. PSQL is how you communicate with PostgreSQL uh, database. So continuing on with the key objectives, be able to manually run commands and queries through a terminal, be able to programmatically run commands and queries through Python. And by the end of this lesson, you should be able to do all the actions in this step or in this list. At the end of this first lesson, I'm going to ask for volunteers to walk me through this from your Bash terminal, creating a database called database one, and then connecting to it from the PSQL terminal, creating a new database two and switching to it, creating a table with a few columns and a few rows to it, deleting a row from a table, deleting the table itself, and deleting the actual database. So are there any questions? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Uh, e- so even though we'll want to CRUD our databases programmatically using Python, knowing how to run these commands manually is foundational to that. And knowing this will help you troubleshoot later on whenever, for example, you're messing with Docker containers and you're trying to communicate between uh, the three different pods that contain a front end, a back end, and a database. Sometimes you'll have to get into your database container and actually try to ping the other pods, see if you can get a communication started. So uh, knowing these basics are essential to helping you troubleshoot. So just pay attention. Intro, having learned about the data stored through the simple syntax of a CSV file, let's explore a more robust approach to data storage and manipulation. You can think of databases as more dynamic, and then CSV is more of a static format containing data in a single file. Some popular relational database management systems are PostgreSQL, MySQL, and MariaDB. SQL, or structured query language, is a programming language used for data storage and manipulation. And most systems use standard SQL language, where systems like Postgres will use their own dialect of the SQL language. We installed Postgres in the beginning, so we won't have to go through that again. But we're gonna go ahead and check to see if we do have it installed. So on your terminals, just type in brew services list to see what is running. And if you are using a different system other than Homebrew, you can follow this link right here for app and just go through that. So in the terminal right now, we're checking to see what is running with Homebrew. And yours might be a little bit different, but as long as you see PostgreSQL and for the status, having it say started, you're good to go. Does anybody have anything else that says otherwise?
I only have Olano.
You only have Olama? Okay, you're you're probably gonna have to install PostgreSQL. So uh, you you can we'll do that after this lecture. So just pay attention
Okay.
for right now.
I'm the same as well.
Who was that?
It's me, Anthony.
You said Anthony?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so yeah, just for right now, just pay attention to the lecture, and then afterwards, we can help you guys out with setting that up. If so just for your guys' reference too, if it says anything other than started, you can follow this troubleshoot section. So if it says something like none or error, best practice is to uh, stop stop Postgres and then just start it back up again. And then if that doesn't work, try a restart and just follow through this whole troubleshooting step, which is found within the lesson. Where were we at? Okay, so getting into PSQL commands, you'll need to learn two different sets of PostgreSQL commands. One set of commands is used within your bash environment, and then another one is used within PSQL. And those are used for CRUD, so creation, reading, updating, and deleting, and connecting to databases. So first things first, we're going to start with bash commands. So if you're on your terminal and you just type in PSQL, it will open up a new shell so that you can uh, integrate and talk to PostgreSQL. So notice when I type in PSQL, it took me to this screen, and this is my user right here. PSQL-H hostname selects a host to sign into, such as localhost, or if you're trying to reach a remote server, you would actually type in PSQL-H, and then you would type in the IP address. But since we're all working locally, your host name should be the user that you're signed into, or it should be localhost. And then PSQL-U is the actual username. So that will be uh, the user you're signed into through your computer. PSQL-D database PSQL-D is allows you to pass in a database name to sign into. PSQL-D that so this -W will, if you add that to your command, it will prompt you for a password, and it'll most likely be the same as that user uh, password that you sign into to get into your computer. PSQL-C, it allows you to run a command from the bash environment. So everything that you would normally run into a PSQL shell, you can just replace that argument and throw it in here in quotations. So those are the basic bash commands that you can run to get into PSQL. To exit out of this PSQL shell, you just type in \Q. I think you can also do exit, but \Q is a, a, a universal exiting out of the PSQL. Because sometimes if you're within a database and you try to do an exit, it's not going to do anything. So always just use \Q. These are the foundational commands you'll want to remember navigating between various databases through bash. As a software developer, you may not be using these too much outside of your configurations. As a DevOps engineer or sysadmin, you may be using this much more frequently. Connecting to a database will often require a combination of arguments. If you don't add these flags and arguments, Postgres will default to your local host, system username, and default database. So as you can see, I didn't throw in any flags. It just took me straight to my default username. And let me go ahead and quit out of that. And then now going to get into PSQL commands. So you can use PSQL by itself to sign into PostgreSQL terminal with default values for host, user, and database. Uh, like I was saying, the default database for a user is a database named after the user. The simplest command to remember, and which is the one you're probably going to be using a lot to list all the databases, is \L. So if we go back into the PSQL shell, do a \L, it should list all the available databases within your system. So this is what I got returned back. I do have a few databases. Yours might look different. To exit out of this screen, if it popped up
Okay,
like this.
I have
Yep.
a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a way to create a database if it doesn't exist? Because mine does not exist yet.
You said create a database if it doesn't exist.
Yes, because I
Uh,
started PSQL, but when I just tried to log into the terminal, it gave me an error. That database of my username doesn't exist.
yeah. Can you post in the chat what error you're getting?
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
What's your username? Is it something like your real name? Because the thing that happens is when you try to log
Oh,
into
yes.
Postgres, it defaults to find a database that is your username. And if that doesn't exist, it'll tell you, hey, you can't do that. So
Yeah,
I
my
assume,
username apparently just trying to use my name. My as
yeah, the database doesn't exist. I think Eric will show us that's going to do here in a second, right, Eric?
Yeah,
How to
yeah,
create one and all that.
yeah. I'll show you guys how to create a database. Yep,
oh, okay.
yep.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So \L, just remember that it'll show you all the once you're into the PSQL shell, if you do \L, it'll list all the databases that you have. And of course, I'll show you guys how to create a database in a second. Another two commands that are helpful is the \help and \?. \help is just it's just a it, it's a help command that you can find throughout it shows a list of commands that are common across many SQL languages, and then \?, it shows a list of PSQL specific commands. So that is the difference between the two. So again, \help is more for general SQL commands, and then \?, is for uh, PSQL commands. The first one. Getting into uh, more commands once you're in the PSQL. You can connect to the different databases that you had listed. So, for example, I'll go ahead and connect to SchoolDB. So for that, within the shell, I'll just do a \C and then school_DB. And I don't think you need a semicolon for this one, but just go ahead and throw it in there because sometimes PSQL is finicky, or SQL in general is finicky with semicolons. The semicolons tells it when the command has ended. So after I pressed enter after typing that \C with the database name SchoolDB, which you can see over here, uh, it gives us a notification that we are now connected to the database and what user we are currently operating as. So below that, if you can see, it shows that this has changed to the database that we are on. instead of just showing my user, it actually shows that we are connected to the school DB database.
Hey, Eric,
Yep,
can you increase the font size of your terminal, please?
yep.
Thank you.
We got how to do that. We,
Should be Command plus?
yep, okay, thank you. Would you like zoom in more, or is this fine?
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, good. Any questions before we continue on? Okay. So we connected to the school DB, and now to describe to see uh what relations we have within that database, we would do a backslash D. So D stands for describe in this case. So it'll show us a list of relations, list of tables that we have within this database. And a relation is pretty much it, uh, a relation is a specific type of database object that has a row and column structure like a table, but not all database objects are considered relations. So for example, a schema is not a relation because it's more so an organizational namespace slash logical container, kind of like a folder. So uh, that is different from relations. So backslash D gives you all the different relations within that database, tables, sequences, views. Backslash DU lists all users and roles. Right now I only have 3 Q to exit. And then these 3 over here at the bottom, you don't need to know for now, but backslash DN lists all schemas for the current database. Backslash DV lists all views. Backslash DF lists all available functions. So the main thing to get out of these commands is this 3 right here. We're more concerned with the first 3, which allow you to navigate between databases, inspect details about a table in the database, and to check slash confirm user permissions and roles. Okay, so the order of this is a little wonky, but I can show you guys how to show or get all the tables from a specific database. So for that, you would do select. And this is the most basic command keyword that you will use. Select this this kind of like a get and API calls. So if you think about it that way, but select asterisk, asterisk stands for all, and then you specify table. So we'll do student app student. So select all from student app student. And then, like I was saying earlier, don't forget to put a semicolon, because sometimes if you forget it, you'll just go down a rabbit hole of trying to think and figure out why is it the command working, why is it not returning anything. So always be mindful of this semicolon. Select all from student. Did I? Oh, I forgot the from. So you actually have to specify which table that you are trying to query. So select all from this table. So select all from student app student. Semicolon. Okay. Typo that time. We'll get it third time. And there's nothing in that table, but that's how you would see all the information from a specific table. As you can see, the columns over here that specific table has is ID, name, student email, personal email, locker number, locker combination, and if they're a good student. So we'll quit out of this by pressing Q. You could also add on to this specific command by throwing a limit of how much you want returned from that table. So say you have a database of, so say you had like 1,000 rows within that table. That's gonna take a long time to query and you don't really need all that. You're just trying to see if it works or if there's anything in there. You could just do a limit 10, so it'll only show you 10 rows. You can change the numbers, limit 5, show you 5 rows. That's how that works. Let me try to show you guys too if you forget a semicolon and you're trying to figure out why things aren't working. Let's do it again. See, notice how it's not returning anything. You can do a \R to reset. All right, let's try running it again with a semicolon this time. Okay, so we tried running with a semicolon, and I don't know if you guys noticed this right now, but I'm going to press up. And since I didn't give a semicolon to these two previous commands, it kind of stacked it onto this last command where I threw in the semicolon. So everything before then, it thought it was a single command. But if you ever run into this problem, you can just do a \R to reset everything. And then you can run that specific command again, and it will work. So yeah, \R is a good command to keep in mind too. And it stands for reset. Now I'll show you guys how to create a database. So I'm just going to quit out of this real quick, clear it up. Okay, so we're going to get back into PSQL. To create a database, you would just do create database. You're specifying what you want to create. And then you'll throw in the name of that database. So for this instance, we'll do database name. Now, if we do a \L, and I forgot the semicolon. So let's see if it runs after this. Okay, nope. Just do a \R, reset everything. And now it created the database. If you get this message, you're good to go. So we'll do a \L. And we now have the database name popping up where we didn't have it before. I'll also show you guys how to create a database from the terminal itself, from Bash terminal itself. So in order to do that, let me quit out of here, \Q. You'll just throw in the PSQL command, and then you'll throw in a flag -C it stands for command, and then you will I think you gotta throw in a quote, and then throw in the same command that you would put within the PSQL terminal inside these quotations. So we'll do a create database. And we'll do a database database name 2 for the name. 2. And don't forget the semicolon. And you'll press enter. And it created the database. So Edison and Anthony, if you guys can try to run this command, see if it works for you guys, and then try to get back into PSQL. I'll do a \L just to double check that the database name 2 got created, and it did. So in summary, you can run all those commands within your bash terminal by throwing a PSQL, adding a flag -c, which stands for command, and then throwing the command that you would normally run within PSQL within those quotations. It still does count the semicolon, so keep that in mind. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, is this being recorded?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
So the semicolon goes inside the quotes.
Yes. Yep. Because it's
Man, that is wonky.
yeah. So it goes inside the quotes because this is the command.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yep, that makes sense.
So you're
Okay.
telling it stop right
Yep.
here. If it was
Yep.
outside, it's
Ooh, that's gonna
counting
trip
it.
me up. Thank you.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So we created those two databases, and we're back inside PSQL. Now we are going to create a table, but first we're gonna connect to our database that we just made. So to connect, you would do a \C within the PSQL shell. So \C and then specify the name of that database. So we're gonna connect to \C database name. So now we are connected. We can go ahead and create a table within this database. Let's do a \D just to see if there's anything in here. It did not find any relations. So we will create the table right now. So first thing you want to do is type in create table to specify what you are creating. And then you would specify the table name. So we'll do table name, space, open parentheses. And then since we're not going to put in a semicolon, if we press enter, it'll just continue on to the next line. So for this, we will enter the ID. We're creating one of the columns named ID. And for that, we are also specifying that so we're specifying that the ID is going to be a number and it's going to increment and be each row is going to have a specific ID. That's what this is pretty much saying for the serial primary key. We'll do a column, press enter again. We're going to create a column named name, and we're going to specify that it can you can input 50 characters. And adding a not null to it specifies that it cannot be empty. Press enter. Then we're creating a third column named email and specifying that varchar, however you say it, but we're not throwing it in not null, so the email is optional in this case. We'll press enter. We'll close it off with a closing parentheses and a semicolon. And it has created the table for us. If we do a \D, we can see that it created the table. Any questions with it? Okay, we'll keep on going. So we'll be using these commands a lot. When creating a table, you'll be able to specify columns. So when I was talking about the serial primary key, the primary key ensures uniqueness for each row. So that's each individual ID. Now to add onto our table, we will run this command, insert into. So we're inserting into table name. That's the name of the table. And we're specifying which columns we want to add to. So name and email. We'll do values to specify what we want to throw in there. So for this first example, we'll just do my name, and these values have to be, each value has to be inside single quotes. If you try to run it without the single quotes, you'll get an error. I'll show you guys. You get an error. You can't even do double quotes with them. It has to be specifically single quotes. So it inserted into our table. Now we can describe the table and see what we have within there. Yes, Eric. You're muted. You're not muted, but your mic's not working.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to
Oh.
flip the mic down. I was curious because looking over here after values, it has how you put it, but you said if you put anything in there, you get an error. So is it just the as it is over here in the document, or
Can you rephrase that question? What are you asking?
so where you have my name, my email
Yep.
for the values you're putting in?
Mhm.
Sorry, my screen is kind of small, so I'm having to like squint to see it. But um, you said that you have to put single quotes on it for it to work.
Yeah.
But is the document that we're following along with, uh, does it have those kind of things in there to make sure you know what you're doing, or is it a typo?
No, yeah, it's a typo. There
Okay,
are some typos in inside the lesson, so I had to go through those hiccups myself. But
I just wanted to check.
yep. Yeah, just if anything, just I'll upload this recording afterwards, so you can go follow this rather than the actual lesson itself. Uh, do you have any more questions? Does anybody have any more questions? Okay, so we'll go ahead and describe the table name just to see to see that our values actually got inputted into the table. So we're specifying the table name. So as we can see, it did create the individual ID, name, and email rows for us, or columns for us. But to actually check the values that's inside within the table, you do select all, like I was previewing earlier. So select all from table name. And don't forget the semicolon. So our value did get put in. And again, we can run this we can add values directly from the bash terminal, but you would do PSQL space -c and then throw in that command to insert into the specific table. Okay, combining bash and terminal commands, we quit out of this and we run PSQL-L. It'll show us the list of databases. We can do the same thing with PSQL-C command quotes /L, and we see the list of databases. So now we can actually delete our database. Or actually, let me show you guys how to delete a table. So we'll go back to our PSQL shell. And then to drop a database, let's look at what we have again, /L. Like I was saying, you're gonna use that a lot just to verify what you have. So we have database name and database name 2. We'll connect to a database name, -c database name. So we're connected over here, and we can see the tables that we have. To actually delete the table, you would do drop. This isn't in the lesson either, so this a good command to remember as well. Drop table, and then specify the table name. So table name. Throw in a semicolon, and then drop the table. You can do a backslash. Just like in the bash terminal, you can press up to go to your previously ran commands. So we're trying to get /D, press enter, did not find any relation. So that actually deleted the table itself. We'll do /Q. Okay, now I'll show you guys how to actually drop a database. So /L, we're going to be deleting database name and database name 2. So I'll show you guys how to delete database within PSQL, and then I'll show you guys how to delete database name 2 within bash. So in here, you'll just do drop. So instead of create, you would do drop, specify what you want to drop, which is database, and then you specify the database name. Don't forget semicolon, and to drop that database. Let's double check. It is not there anymore. We can do Q, quit, /Q to quit, go back into bash. Now we can do PSQL-C and run that same command, but this time change the name to database name 2. So drop database name 2, semicolon, ending quotes. And then drop the database. Let's double check. And we have deleted both databases. So putting it all together, can someone create a database named database1 from our bash terminal? Can someone help me walk through that? Okay, so let's clear this up.
From the bash terminal.
Yep, from the bash terminal.
Yeah, that would be PSQL
Yep,
-C
yep.
quote
Mm-hmm.
create
Yep.
database 2
Uh, well,
database 1,
yep,
sorry,
database one.
database 1, then semicolon,
Okay.
quote,
Yep.
then enter.
Did I?
Oh, we didn't finish. It should be create database 1.
Oh, yep. Good catch. All right. PSQL -C create, specify the database
Then database 1.
base
Uh,
one. Okay, let's double check that it got created. And it did. Now, can you tell me how to connect to it from Bash?
from bash,
Mm-hmm.
that would be PSQL
Yep.
-C colon back.
You
I
said
know the quote, sorry, space quote /C,
yep,
then database 1
yep,
and quote.
yep. So you're now connected to database one as user Eric. Okay, can someone else walk me through creating a new database from the PSQL terminal?
PSQL, enter,
Yep,
create space, database, space, database 2, semicolon,
space, database.
database, space, the name of the database,
Yep,
hit enter, /L to see if it's there.
yep. And then can you help me switch to it? What command do I run for that?
/C,
Yep.
space, the database name. And I don't think you need the semicolon with this one,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
don't,
all right.
but it doesn't hurt, right?
Yeah. I always just throw it in there. I don't even know. Some do, some don't. Like for example, this this /C doesn't need it, but I throw it in just in case, just to get into the habit of it. Because sometimes I'll forget. It's better to remember. Database two. Okay, so now we're connected to it. Now we're on step 3. Can someone help me create a table?
Create space, table,
Yep.
space, and then whatever you want to name the table.
Yep. What do you want to name it?
User auth. Well, maybe not. That might be something you already have. Pokemon,
All right, Pokemon. All right.
parentheses,
Yep.
and now you can hit enter
Mm-hmm.
and start working on the next line. And
What do you want to put in there for the columns?
ID,
Yep.
serial key primary,
Uh,
or serial primary key. Does it matter what order it's in?
yeah. Actually, I'm not too sure on that. I'll get back to you on that. That I'm actually curious too. We'll
But
try it. Serial key primary,
it's gonna break. Comma, enter,
comma, enter.
name.
Yeah, I think it's gonna break.
Is it?
Yeah, it should be primary key.
All right. All right. We'll fix it later. All right, theme
Varchar 20,
20.
and then it's not null, so it's required, comma, enter, and then type, Varchar 20, and we'll also make this one not null.
Okay.
And then we don't need a comma to close it off, but we do need to close the parentheses and then add a semicolon.
Yep.
But it's probably going to break because we
Yeah,
did the
well,
key thing backwards. Yep.
yep, it did. Most definitely did. I just pressed up to get that same command back. Okay, and then now let's try press enter, see if it works. It created a table, so that's good. Let's just double check everything. Come on. Okay, we have ID, name, and type. Let's see if we have anything in there. Select all from Pokemon, semicolon, nothing. So does anybody can anybody help me add 3 Pokemons to this table?
I don't know the Pokemons. It's been a long time, but I can help you walk you through it and
Yep,
get some
yep.
help on the Pokemons. You do insert space into
Mm-hmm.
and then space Pokemon
Yep.
and then open paren. We're gonna do what is it? Name, comma, type,
Name. Yep.
and type, and then close paren, and then space values and open
Mm-hmm.
parentheses, and then single quote,
Yep.
uh, Pikachu.
Yep. That's
Okay. Oh yeah, we got the chat. Pikachu. I think that's and comma,
mm-hmm.
single quote, and then we have electric, right?
Yeah. Electric or lightning it. Is it we'll do electric. You said
Okay,
electric.
electric
All right.
and single quote.
Mm-hmm.
How do you add the second value then? You just keep going? Like the second row?
I'm pretty sure
Or do you have to do it each time insert into?
there is a way to uh add add everything at
I
once.
think you just put the close the parentheses, then
Mhm.
next space values, and keep repeating with
Okay.
values. I think so.
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
You guys want to try it?
Yeah, let's try another one and let's see if
All
that
right.
breaks or not.
All right.
So, oh no. Let's try what Edison says. So, space values. That's what you mean, right,
Yeah.
Edison? Okay. Values, open quote. I'm sorry, open paren, and then single quote, and then let's do Charizard.
Yep. Is that how you spell Charizard? Or is there an I in Charizard?
Charizard. Yeah, that works for us, right? And then comma, single quote, and then fire,
Yep.
single quote, close parentheses, and then semicolon. Let me try that out.
Yep.
Uh,
Right. Me actually, let's ask ChatGPT real quick. How do you add multiple values to a Postgres table through PSQL?
Eric. Yeah, I remember. That's been a long time for that song.
Okay, so you actually just have to we go back instead of having the values,
Mm-hmm.
or the second set of values, you
Mm-hmm.
just put a column right after that, closing parentheses.
A comma?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Hit enter. Let's see what's up.
I don't know if we need that space, but yeah, let's try it. Yep, it answered it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's double check it. Select all.
Yeah, select all from space Pokemon, semicolon.
And press enter. We have Pikachu and Charizard.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Anybody want to try just adding one more? Walk me through it. Somebody different. Nobody? All right, I'll just go ahead and add Bulbasaur. Insert into Pokemon, specifying the table name, specify what you want to modify. So name and type. Values. We'll add Bulbasaur. And he is a water Pokemon. Do a closing parentheses and a semicolon. Now we'll just double check. And yep, we'll have all three Pokemons. Can somebody walk me through deleting or actually we didn't go over this, so I'll just show you guys. To delete a row from a table, you would do delete from, and then you'd specify the table name, so Pokemon. And then you have to throw in your conditional. So where name equals which Pokemon do you guys want to get rid of?
Bulbasaur.
All right, yeah. Bulbasaur, end it with a single quote and then a semicolon. And we have deleted Bulbasaur from the list. Let's double check. And we only have two left. Pikachu and Charizard. So can somebody walk me through deleting the table itself?
Let's try delete
Yep,
space table name.
let's try that. It'll be, in this case, it'll be
Should be drop,
Pokemon.
right?
Drop, right?
Yeah, yep, it's actually a drop. Yep,
Drop.
yep. Drop table, and then it would be Pokemon in this case. So we drop the table, let's do a \D. Did not find any relations, the table got deleted. So we're still on database 2. Can anybody walk me through deleting database?
You would drop and then database
Yep.
and the database name, database 2.
So
But since,
we're actually,
since we are still connected to it, I think we cannot
Mhm.
drop it.
Yep, exactly. So to honestly, me, I just start over. So I'd exit out of it, \Q, or I'd switch to another table or another database and then do it. But it doesn't hurt to just start over and log back in to the shell PSQL, and then you do run that same command, and it dropped the database. So \L, database 2 got deleted. Can someone walk me through deleting the database 1 from the bash terminal?
Yeah, it's just gonna be drop DB.
Yep. You're saying just press drop.
Drop DB,
Yep.
and then the name of the database.
Yep. And yeah, that's another way to do it too. Drop DB or create DB to create a database. So drop DB database, I think it was one. Let's go ahead and check it. And both databases got deleted. So that is the end of the first lesson. Does anybody have any questions on PSQL, PostgreSQL, and the Bash terminal?
That drop DB drops it from Bash. Like you're in Bash and drop DB will drop it.
Yep. Yep, drop DB drops it. And then you can also do create DB to create the database. So if we check, we have database name. So that's a faster way to do it.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and delete that database. Verify it got deleted, and we're good. So any questions on lesson 1? Okay, if there's no
I have a question.
yeah, go for it.
So if the database had a table, can we still drop it?
You said if a database has a table, can we still drop it?
Yeah.
Let's try it. So create DB database 1, PSQL. Database 1. Create, yeah, I think create table. Table name. Yeah. The serial primary key. I put a colon. Okay. You just reset it. Or I mean a comma. All right. So this should have a table inside it. Let's try to go ahead and delete it. Drop DB database 1. And yes, it did. So with that being said, be careful not to run drop DB because you have a database that's very important and you run that command, it will delete everything. Does that answer your question, Edison?
Yes, thank you.
What's that bar chart? And then you have that number on it. What exactly is that?
So varchar is specifying that you can have a maximum amount of characters based on what's within the parentheses. So if it's 50, you can only input 50 characters for that specific name or for that specific column. And if you have 5, you can only do 5. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions before we continue? No? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into updating. Do you guys want a break? No? Okay. So we're going to finish up with lesson 2, updating databases using Python. This is the same thing from earlier, relational database. There's a database that contains columns and rows. Again, our key objective is to learn to create and run Python scripts from the VS Code terminal, understand how to connect a Python script to a PostgreSQL database, and use Python scripts to create, read, update, and delete a PSQL database. It's important to know how to navigate these environments. And right now, we'll use Python to interact with a PostgreSQL database. We'll create a food database, build a Python script that connects to it, setting up tables, and performing basic operations like adding and deleting rows. So for step 1, well, first let's get into a virtual environment. So a virtual environment is pretty much creating an environment that isolates your work from the rest of your machine. So it keeps your project's dependencies separate from others. It avoids conflicts and keeps your system clean. So in order to start a virtual environment, you would run this command, Python 3. Or does anybody have any questions on what a virtual environment is? No? Okay, so just go ahead and run this command, Python 3-m virtual environment. And then you're specifying what you want the virtual environment name to be. So we'll just do venv again. Once you press enter, you have created that virtual environment. To actually run it and get it and activate it, you would run source venv /bin/activate. So you know it's working and you're in your virtual environment once what's inside the parentheses changes. So for you guys, it may look like default at first, and now it says venv. On Windows, this is what you would run. And it actually creates a directory too, a virtual environment directory. So like I was saying, you know, the environment is activated when you see the venv. You can now install AICO-PG3, which pretty much allows Python to connect to PostgreSQL. And to do that, you would run this command right here. You use the binary so that everything comes in a package where you won't have to install different independent dependencies. Go ahead and run that command, those commands. I'm just going to go ahead and clear this up. Anybody have any questions so far? Okay, now we're going to create a food database. So can someone help me with creating that database?
Just create DB
Yep.
food.
Yep, and we have the food database created. And then we're actually also setting up a fruits table. So we'll do PSQL dash C, quotes, create table. Or actually, let's connect to our food database first. So command \C food ending quotes and press enter. So we're now connected to the food database, and now we're going to create our fruits table. So we'll run PSQL-C quotes, open quotes, and then insert or create table and specify the table name fruits. And then we will do open parentheses. We'll do, forgot what. So we'll just do an ID and a name. So serial primary key. And then we'll do a name. Varchar 30. Not null. Closing parentheses, colon or semicolon. And this should I forgot the closing quotes. So for this, I'll just do Control C, go back up. What did it? Yep, I forgot the closing quotes. So I created a table. Let's just verify that that table is within fruits. Where's it? Fruit.
You have to get the database first.
Or food, yeah, we're trying to connect to the food, I mean. Okay, so \C food, and then we'll do \D. Now I'm curious where I created that fruit table. Okay, regardless, we're gonna keep on going. So I'll just go ahead and rerun this command. Everything that's inside the quotes. So I created a table named fruits. Now we're going to go ahead and create a file called crud food. Create, read, update, delete food.py. Code crud underscore food.py. And then let me reorganize my screen real quick. Do you guys still need do you guys need to see this lesson, or can I move it to my other screen? Does anybody want me to keep this lesson over here? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move it. Okay, so we had just created our crudfood.py file. First thing we're going to want to do is import AICO-PG. Pretty sure we installed 3.
So do you need to write PsychoPG like dash binary? I think that's what it populated when it said like successfully installed.
No, so the binary part is pretty much just ensuring that you have all the dependencies that you need. If you didn't include that binary part, you would have to install some other dependencies. So it pretty much just comes as a package or ready to go. Does that answer your question?
Well, because I had like originally installed PsychoPG,
Mhm.
and so then I taught myself and I went and I did the binary one. So then I might have like two. So I just if I'm just saying like import PsychoPG in the Python file, does it know to get both, or did the binary overwrite the original one?
So it shouldn't have overwritten it because it'll if you didn't have PsychoPG before, it'll just install PsychoPG and then along with the other dependencies that you have along with it.
It's fine. We'll see if I can narrow. Never mind.
Okay, so we're going to continue with PsychoPG. Importing PsychoPG, import PsychoPG2. Let me just double check something real quick. I think you can run pip show PsychoPG to see what you're running. Let's
Okay.
see. Okay, yeah. I do have two different PsychoPG. So PsychoPG just by itself and a PsychoPG2. I am going to go ahead and use the regular PsychoPG because it's a later version, so I'll just get rid of this too. But it also giving me a squiggly line, so I'll just put that two back. Okay, sort of after we import PsychoPG, again, just kind of experiment with it a little bit, see if you have two different versions as well. But after you import it, you're going to go ahead and type in, make a variable named con equals psychopg.connect. So this pretty much creating a variable that allows Python to interact with PostgreSQL. So psychopg 2 dot connect, and then we'll do database name equals Postgres user equals. Do you guys know how to create .env files? So .env files is used to keep your credentials out of files that you push up to say GitHub, and just pretty much keeps your credentials out of reach from other individuals. In order to do that, you would have to go back to the terminal. We'll just go ahead and create a .env file. And then over here, you can put in all those variables that you see within that code block in here. Uh, Database name, user, password, host. We'll do Postgres. your username, your password, and then localhost. Just save it. And then back in your main file, you're going to have to import OS. So OS for operating system, load.env. Or actually, I'm forgetting another import. Import what was it? From .env, import load underscore .env. And then after the imports, that's where you would actually do load.env. So it loads all the variables that you put into that .env file within here. And then here you would actually throw in the the keys that you put into your .env file. So you do os.get env, open parentheses, quotes, and then DB name. And then you do the same thing for all these. os.get env, or parentheses, quotes, user, what else? Password, and host. So that's how you would make a .env file. That's good practice to get into. That way,
That
when
listed in the curriculum?
no, it's not. You'll probably you'll use it later on in the curriculum, but this is a good habit to get into because, for example, if you're pushing this file up to GitHub, you don't want your credentials to be shown here. You would create another .gitignore file, and you would add the .env to it so that your .env file doesn't get pushed up and all your passwords and stuff are on there. Does that make sense? You don't have to completely get it right now, but it's it pretty much helps with securing your passwords and making sure it doesn't get into the hands of somebody else, does that make sense?
If that's what you're doing now, you're securing them with passwords?
Yeah, so instead of putting for example, instead of putting your password here, you put it into this .env file.
Mm-hmm.
And then normally you would make another file called .gitignore, and you would, so for example, yeah, let's do so you would have a .env file and a .gitignore. So in a .gitignore, everything that you specify in here is not going to get pushed up to GitHub whenever you push something up. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So your username and your password and all that is safe and secure. and not on the internet.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what the point of a .env file is. Again, it's not in this lesson, but I just thought I'd show you guys. Uh, for the sake of time, in the next code blocks, you are so within this file that we had just created, the crudfoo.py, we are going to be adding some methods or functions on being able to add fruit, delete fruit, pretty much create, read, update, and delete things to your items to your database. So that's what all these do. So for example, add fruit, you specify the name, and cursor is a part of that import from CyclePG. Uh, it's a database object used to interact with your PostgreSQL database, and it lets you pretty much it lets you execute SQL commands like insert, delete, select. So it allows you to execute insert and delete and pretty much modify your database through that. Condat commit is forgot. Uh, Condat commit is pretty much just it saves the changes that you made. So after you insert something into that database or that table, it'll save it. That's what this line does. And then print is just letting you know that, hey, I added that fruit. Any questions on that? So again, cursor is from that CyclePG import. It's just it lets you execute SQL commands. So this is the SQL command, and then this line right here just says to save it. Does that make sense? Any questions on that part? Okay, if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and put uh, these functions into that file. And right now it's because we haven't specified cursor yet, which is later on in this lesson. So right here is where we're creating a cursor object. So throw that into our file as well. So the codes we have just added allow you to add fruit, delete fruit, and we don't need the veggies. So we'll just go ahead and delete that because we didn't create a table for it. Retrieve fruit just allows you to uh, get all the fruits. So it's executing the select all from fruits command. And then it prints out the fruit that that's listed within that table. So we're just going to add that to our file as well. We don't need the veggies. So remember that con variable we wrote at the top of the script. It's an instance of the PsychoPG module. And then this checks if the food database exists. If it doesn't, then it creates it. So we'll just go ahead and add this to our file as well. So we'll have to fetch one method will either run results. What is it? I'm sorry guys for trying to figure out what this part does right here. So we can let's go ahead and add this to our file. And this just connects to the database name and our local host. Okay, this is for the database. It checks the database if it exists. And then this portion right here checks for the actual fruits table if it exists. So we'll go ahead and add this. And let's go ahead and try running this file with Python 3 prod food .py. I think for you guys, if you updated your config file, you should be able to run it with just Python. So I fixed the error by going to my file and just replacing PsychoPG2 with PsychoPG, and that seemed to have fixed my my error that I was getting. So you know it's working if you run that file and you get no errors back. I did add an add fruit apple at the end, so now it all should be working.